And now it's the time when we get a little more company in our studio. It's not just Allison and I anymore. We beckon, we ask, we call in our amazing, I'm going to call you amazing. You are amazing. Our amazing producers into the studio for the most. Ian, you're up.
All right, this is from Philly.com, which is the website of the Philadelphia Inquirer and the Philadelphia Daily News. This was the most popular and most emailed there, and I like to read that paper every day, check in on my old hometown. And turns out what's going down there, yesterday, some kids broke into a high school with 85 chickens.
First question, where do the kids get 85 chickens?
Well, that's being investigated right now.
Apparently you were the only one with that question, Allie.
There's actually a quote from one of the spokespeople for the school. I'm pretty sure there's a very upset poultry farmer somewhere who wants them back.
That's not how people talk in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I
imagine
do the Philly accent.
It was kind of messy in the school, I imagine.
Yeah, they said they didn't find any eggs. These were all hens, apparently, which is weird. It was so messy that they had to cancel school that day, which canceled classes for 3,600 students. So I guess this was a gigantinormous school.
Can you imagine walking into school and there's like all these chickens in your
I think it would
phone?
be like the best day ever.
Ever. I'm with you.
I mean, there's actually, like, the kids, of course, were happy because they didn't have school. But then there's one of the secretaries and spokespeople from the school, like a secretary saying, they were so cute. You had everybody laughing. And then, Philly has a huge crime problem. And she says, the chickens, it's better than hearing about a shooting, which is true.
Yes,
Glass
it
is half full kind of lady. Caitlin, what do you have?
I have a story from the San Francisco Chronicle about scientists learning adhesive lessons from geckos. Now, if anybody knows anyone who has a gecko, you've seen them, how they can sort of just stake their 5-fingered toes and walk along the edge of their cages, and it's pretty cool. So they've sort of trying to harness this ability they have. The toes of the gecko are covered with millions of microscopic hairs, so they say to think of each toe as a teensy-weensy toothbrush. Millions of the hairs on the toes create the form of adhesive, and the scientists are studying this, and they've sort of applied it to a tape that they can use to attach things, and they're thinking this technology can be applied to non-slip shoe soles or bandages that cling to the skin but peel away without ouch. One of the biophysicists working on the project said, forget Spider-Man, we should be talking about Gecko Girl. So that's pretty cool.
Gecko Girl.
I mean, Spider-Man should have been a gecko. It makes more sense. He kind of looks more like a gecko.
Yeah. Well, if this technology works, who knows? We could be clinging to buildings tomorrow, just like geckos.
Awesome.
As most emailed from the San Francisco Chronicle, Matthew Martinez, our senior supervising producer.
Hello, I have the most emailed story right now at the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. Headline, another JFK son? DNA may tell. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, there's a guy, his name's Jack, and instead of being tracked down, he decided to come forward and say, I'm probably the guy you're looking for. I love the description of him. Jack is tall, slim, and freckled complexion. Hazel eyes and thick reddish-brown hair parted on the left, swept across his forehead. He has perfectly straight teeth. Kennedy teeth, one might be tempted to say. Sitting across from him, the term boyish comes to mind. He grew up in this...
Does he say that?
Is that, yeah. Well,
could be the guy you're looking for.
I could be the guy. Well, it turns out that he is American. He lives with his Canadian wife in Canada, and all he needs is some DNA from the Kennedy clan to prove that he is indeed a Kennedy. They're going to do a DNA test. Kennedys haven't said if they're actually going to give the DNA, and he says that he will sign an agreement saying he will seek no financial remuneration if he is
DNA
proved.
prenup.
Yes, a DNA prenup of sorts.
Interesting.
Number one most emailed at Seattle Post-Intelligencer.
And my most is most popular on Google News. Headline, newborn rhino named after Kofi Annan. I don't know if this is a nice thing or not. There's a newborn rhino in Kenya, part of on a Masai Mara reserve. Cute little guy. He's got a big horn. He's a black rhino. Now they're saying that this has nothing to do with the fact that Kofi Annan is trying to mediate the situation down there between Odinga and Mwai Kibaki. But as one person put it associated with the situation, thick-skinned Kofi Annan is likely to spend years in the wild. That's that rhino, not
Rhino,
the,
not the
not
actual
the former
Kofi.
Got it.
Secretary General. So baby Kofi. And check him out and all of these other stories on our website at npr.org/Bryant Park. It's the most.